Hey everybody, it's Justin here with Sillage Scents. Today I've got a quick video, I think, about 10 clone fragrances for $10 each that may really surprise you. So some of them will surprise you because you didn't know they exist. Some would surprise you because they're actually really good for the price. So as we get ready to dive in, I'd love it if you would subscribe to the channel. So please consider clicking that button right there in the corner of the video down below. And also let me know down in the comments, are there any, say, $10, $12, $15 clones that you've tried that are actually really good? All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. This one is a banger. You can get it on Amazon for $10, discounters sometimes less. This is a clone of the Mancera Chocolate Greedy, and it's just called Choco Musk by Rehab. So Choco Musk, this is basically, it smells like a fresh baked chocolate cake. It's got some strength. It's probably easily a 8-hour performer. It's got a little bit of that Middle Eastern, very dense, syrupy kind of sweetness. There might even be a touch of oud, but chocolate and vanilla, smells like a cake right here. Choco Musk by Rehab. All right, let's see here. Let's go with a couple that I just got in. These surprised me because I didn't know that they even existed. This one first is a clone of Armani Code Absolute, one of my favorite fragrances. This one is a $10 clone by Hybrid and Company, I believe is what it's called. I believe that's the name of the company, Hybrid and Company. This one is called Code Black Gold Intense for Men. They're definitely not hiding what they're trying to clone here. Obviously they're ripping off the bottle and everything. I was disappointed whenever I got it that it doesn't smell exactly like Code Absolute. Big surprise. But it is probably 85% similar. You definitely know if, whenever you smell this, you're looking at the bottle, you have an idea of what they're trying to clone. And as soon as you smell it, you think, yeah, I can tell what they're going for. It's nowhere near the quality. It's nowhere near the wow factor of Code Absolute, but it's a low-end synthetic smelling fragrance that gets you 85-ish% there. So, for $10, it's a pretty impressive pickup. I'll probably end up giving it to my kids. They like this. And so that one, pretty surprising. All right, next up, this one is a clone of Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Beau, and you'll know when you see the bottle exactly what they're going for. So this is a clone of Le Beau. I don't have Le Beau. I need to pick it up. It's right up my alley with the notes, but I'll tell you what it smells like. It smells like tonka bean and coconut, and even a touch of smokiness, which is unusual. I don't think that's in Le Beau, but that's really what it smells like. Tonka bean and coconut. This one actually is a better fragrance than the Code Absolute clone. I've worn this one a couple times. My kids have worn this one a couple times. Pretty impressive, as I said, for $10 on Amazon. Check out the bottle. They even give you this, faux JPG can presentation. So it's, not too bad. All right, next up. We'll go with one. This one is a banger. This one is, the last two you can tell I'm kind of lukewarm on. This one I'm smoking hot on because this is a banger of a clone. It's a clone of Spice Bomb. I've talked about it a lot. This is Volatile, and it is very similar, probably 90% close to Spice Bomb, maybe more. The only difference is in the opening, there's a little more of the pencil shaving vibe. I think maybe cedar or maybe oud that you get from Spice Bomb. But 15 minutes later, that settles down, and they are pretty much indistinguishable. Killer clone, about $9 on Amazon. Volatile by Parfums Belkin. They make a lot of great cheapies. All right, next up, I'll go with one that is a clone of Gentleman Only Absolute, which I haven't smelled, but I understand that one smells a whole heck of a lot like Spice Bomb. This is New Brand Perfumes Only You, and it smells about 85% similar to Spice Bomb. It actually smells a lot like Azzaro hot pepper, which I understand does smell a lot like Gentleman Only Absolute. So I can't tell you exactly if it's a good clone of Gentleman Only Absolute, but it's close to Spice Bomb. It's close to Azzaro hot pepper. It is more synthetic smelling, more cheap smelling than those other fragrances. But again, this one I got on fragrancebuy.ca, maybe $9, right around that $10 range. Very impressive for what I paid for it. All right, the next two, these are kind of classics. These have got a lot of people online that like them for good reason. They're cheap. You can smell that they are synthetic, but they do a great job of emulating much more expensive popular fragrances. The first one, these are both from Cuba, heads up. This is Cuba Gold, and it is very, very similar to the original Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male. And this one came out first, which is crazy. So technically, I guess Le Male copied this one. But I've gone through a lot of Cuba fragrances through the years, and they are impressive for what you pay. You can pick up these little, cigars for like $5, and the big bottles for 10. So it's a good clone. The next one, this one smells like Paco Rabanne 1 million, but it also came out before 1 million. And so some people say that Paco Rabanne actually copied this one. So this is Cuba Royal Red, and it smells a lot like 1 million, but it's not as high quality as 1 million, but it's strong. It performs great. It projects. It's a very impressive fragrance for $5. Insanely so for $5. This is Cuba Royal Red. All right, next up, we'll go with another one that is very similar to Spice Bomb, and this is a good pickup. It's basically Spice Bomb minus the tobacco. A lot of people have talked about this one. This is Beverly Hills Club Blaze, and it's, woods, spices with some citrus on the top. I've worn a ton of this. I've got several bottles. My sons wear this. It is a Spice Bomb clone that's even a little more appropriate for warm weather because that heavy tobacco is removed, and you can get these at the rack stores for about $10. All right, I think I just got two more here. These are both from CA Perfumes, which is an Amazon brand, or at least that's where I see them. These are both very good. I think these are 50 mil, and I think I paid $12 for each of them. They're very close to what they're cloning. They don't perform great. They're like 5-6 hour performers, but this one is their version of BR540, the original, not the X-Straight. It's a great clone. It's not even that cheap or synthetic smelling, but it's going to last you 5 or 6 hours, and it just is called our version of BR540. All right, and the next one from them, this is their version of Tom Ford Lost Cherry. And again, this one is a little more synthetic or cheap smelling than the Tom Ford, but it's very close. I don't know, 85 to 90% similar, but it's a 5 or 6 hour performer. This is their version of Tom Ford Lost Cherry. Smells great. I love the way this thing smells. So all of these, there's definite compromises when you're talking about a $10 fragrance, but each of these I have worn. Probably the one out of all of them that I'm least impressed with is the Code Absolute clone, but it's still a more synthetic or cheaper smelling version of Code Absolute. Some of them, as I said, are very close, and each of these I think is very good for the price. So this has just been a quick video about some ultra cheapies. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments or others you would add to this list. And again, please subscribe if you haven't done that. I'm Justin. This has been Sillage Scents.